guys, and welcome to Behind the Spires. I'm Molly, and filling in for Ed, who is enjoying some very well-deserved beach time, is our special co-host. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, Lance here, and I have been your friendly producer pretty much the beginning of this show, yes. But now I'm filling in for Ed, so I'll try my best.
From the inception, he has been the producer, also known as DJ Lazy River.
Gave my cover away, but that's all right. I guess it's not a good secret anymore. If
you see him around town with the tunes, that's this guy, and he's trading in his regular job duties for our discussion today.
Sure, and I'm very excited about today's episode, as you can imagine.
Who are we talking to?
Today, we're going to be talking with Jake Wynn. He's from Visit Frederick. We'll talk about what makes our city a must-see destination and what's ahead for tourism and how Frederick is preparing for the USA 250 celebration.
Very exciting. Jake's awesome, and we hope he nerds out on some history.
I'm sure he will.
Okay. If you're not watching us on video, catch our lovely mugs on YouTube, City of Frederick, Maryland. Of course, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon.
All the major outlets.
Other podcasting services.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're everywhere, guys.
Can't miss us.
Are you excited?
Raise the roof? Can we still do that?
Oh, no.
If you're not watching, I'm raising the roof.
DJ Lazy River is showing his age today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to contain DJ Lazy River.
No. We want to see DJ Lazy River out and about today. But we do, before we get into today's episode with Jake, we have an update from our city's Housing and Human Services Department before the commercial break. Okay?
All right, let's tag team this.
Okay.
We'll do like an infomercial here.
You kick us off.
Looking to buy your first home? Facing challenges with your mortgage or rent? The City of Frederick is here to help.
Beautiful. We have 2 HUD-certified housing counselors offering free one-on-one guidance for residents. Whether you're planning to purchase a home, facing foreclosure, navigating rental issues, or just need help improving your credit, our counselors are your go-to resource.
They provide expert support on everything from budgeting and mortgage options to reverse mortgages and renter protections. Man, Ed makes this look so easy. Plus, they host homebuyer education classes designed specifically for first-time buyers.
You should say Molly also makes this look easy.
True.
Don't go it alone. Connect with the city's housing counseling office and get the tools you need to move forward with confidence. Visit frederickmd.gov/HCO, that's HCO, Housing Counseling Office, to learn more.
So now, this is part where Ed be like,
yes.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
When a snow emergency event is declared for the City of Frederick, help out the city and your neighbors by staying informed, keeping snow emergency routes clear of cars, and following city guidelines for private property responsibilities. Visit cityoffrederickmd.gov/snow, download the iSpires app on your smart device. By working together, we can keep the City of Frederick looking majestic during the winter season and safe for all who need to travel.
Hey, we're back.
Welcome back, guys. And with us, we have one of our best friends, Jake Wynn from Visit Frederick. Jake, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this. Yay. Glad to be here.
Okay. Let's start with the basics. Can you introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about Visit Frederick?
Absolutely. So, again, my name's Jake Wynn. I am the Senior Marketing and Communications Manager for Visit Frederick. Been there for about 4 years now. Visit Frederick is the destination marketing organization for Frederick City and for Frederick County as well. So we're essentially, we're the tourism office for the city and the county. So promoting all of the amazing things that we have here in the city and all around the county as well. Get visitors out here and experiencing that. And last year we have numbers for, we got about 2 million visitors came to Frederick County. And so it's
How do you track that? Seems like a huge number to me.
Yeah, it is a huge number. There is a very complex state formula that I don't understand because I was never very good at math, hence why I'm in marketing and communications with a side of history as well. But yeah, there's a formula that takes into account all different kind of economic numbers and puts that into a math formula and pops out a number of about how many visitors. They spent over $500 million here in 2023 as well. So it's a huge part of the economy is our tourism industry here in Frederick.
We love visitors.
Yes.
And also, before we dive into the next question, I would be remiss if I did not mention that you also have a podcast. history podcast.
Yep. So
Plug it quick.
Yeah, my side gig that makes no money. So I do host a podcast called the Public History Podcast with Jake and Justin, with a good friend of mine that we spent some time working at the National Park Service before. Previously, I did work for the National Museum of Civil War Medicine here in downtown Frederick as well. So I have a long history, kind of working in history.
With history.
But then also on the communication side, and then learned how to do the marketing thing on the job. So
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, with Visit Frederick, how does Visit Frederick support local tourism? Now, give me really specific answers here, because I know they do a great job with their exhibits and their brochures and just outreach, but what specifically are you doing now and at the county and city at large?
Yeah, so we're always working very closely with our partners, with our members. So we are a member-supported organization. We have over 500 members here in Frederick County, and those members are made up of small businesses, businesses that are restaurants, all of our craft beverage outlets as well, shops, boutiques, and then as well as museums, historic sites. Basically anything that, if you're a visitor and going to support that, if you're traveling somewhere else, those businesses here in Frederick County, those are our members. And so we work very closely with them to basically package up what they offer and put that all together as this is Frederick. This is the experience you can have in Frederick, and essentially get that out there through advertising, through social media, our website, visitfrederick.org. VisitFrederick.org.
Nice.
Check it out.
Plug.
VisitFrederick.org is our primary marketing tool. We invest heavily in that, make sure the website looks good, it's easy to use, and has things like our events calendar for all of the things going on in the city and the county as well, and then also listings for all of those businesses as well, so people can, when they're Googling around, when they're using search engines to find more information about, hey, we're planning a weekend trip to Frederick, what should we do, that information from Visit Frederick is going to show up there, and that's what we work with those partners to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward to get visitors to come here and experience, and then ultimately spend some money, spend the night, have a great time in Frederick, and then go home.
What are the top locations visitors are coming to in Frederick? Have you gotten a sense of what that might be?
Like, what are the hottest spots?
Yeah, so we have some new tools that we're going to be bringing online in the future that'll actually be able to really help us tell that story even better. But we know that Carroll Creek Park is probably the number one driver of it's where visitors are going when they come here, in part because of all the amazing festivals and events that are happening there. Alive at 5 every Thursday during the summer, the flowers in the summer as well, the boats in the winter. That is always a huge driver of tourism traffic. People are coming here to experience that and to experience the breweries along the way, the public art along the way. Public art's a huge part of what makes Frederick really special.
Shout out Layla, our public art.
Absolutely. Public art is, it's really about placemaking. It's about what makes Frederick stand out from other downtowns, because we have unique pieces of public art that celebrate the people of Frederick, our history, our heritage, and the beautiful landscape that we have here.
Yeah. Frederick is that cool mix of like history, good food, good art, kind of weird, but like in a good way.
Absolutely. And I would add to that too, our passionate business owners as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's all over the city. We have amazing business owners that are. And I think one of the things I love about Frederick, and I always talk about this, my manager, our assistant director, Becky Bickerton, always says, if we're doing our jobs right in the tourism industry, we're not here often. We're often out traveling the country, the world, telling the world about Frederick. And that's something I always say when I'm out either working with journalists or in a group sales environment where I'm getting tour operators, tour companies and travel agents to sell them Frederick. One of the top things I always say is, Frederick's business owners are our best asset. Because people have decided to open their business here in Frederick, and they're very passionate about their community, and they're going to tell you where their favorite restaurant is. They're going to tell you where the visitor needs to go, and they are so supportive of our community here and of tourism in this community, getting people here, making sure that they have a good time and a good experience, and that is, I think, probably the number one asset I think that Frederick has is that business community and making sure that people have a really great experience here in Frederick.
That's a fantastic point. Let's switch gears a little bit to USA 250, Woo. The semi-Quinn Centennial. Is that correct?
That is correct.
She's been working on pronouncing that for a while.
I looked at that word and I was like, nope.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was traveling in Pennsylvania recently, where I am from, and I saw a billboard that had just semi-Quinn-Centennial advertised. Yeah, and I was like, is that really what you want to put on the billboard? That was like, a dictionary spelling and pronunciation of this word. But yes, we're super excited about America 250 here in Frederick and Frederick County. Mm-hmm. And as has already been mentioned about kind of what makes Frederick so special is the history and how it ties into everything else that makes Frederick great. And I think that's what we're really looking forward to with this anniversary coming up, is that opportunity to put that spotlight again on the comprehensive, incredible history that we have here that extends not just to the American Revolution, goes back to earlier colonial period as well, and right up through the present day. And that's really the way that we are looking at it as the tourism office, as Visit Frederick, is really an opportunity to tell all of the history of Frederick and put the spotlight on it for an entire year and a little extra.
And we do want to give a shout out to your website, because you are hosting a lot of the events. So can you talk to people about what that is, where they can find it? Yeah,
absolutely. So visitfrederick.org is hosting the official landing page for the county's 250th commission, and that is on the visitfrederick.org website. You'll be able to find that if you go to plan your visit. Little drop down, you'll see America 250 there.
Nice.
And that is a place where you can find resources about who's organizing events, but also to find information about those events themselves that are going to be coming up. Sons of the American Revolution, right. Daughters of the American Revolution have been doing events, and they've been doing events going back several years.
Right.
They're pumped.
Yeah, the 250th is everybody's focused on 2026 because it's the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and when the American Revolution and the war really gets underway, but there's events leading up to it that they've been commemorating, and there will be events after 2026 that the SAR and the DAR will be working together to put a highlight on those anniversaries, because it is important not just to understand America declares independence, but then it has to fight for that independence. And that war, the American Revolution, is fascinating and complex and complicated, and it's amazing that we're here at all. And telling that story is a big part of what they're seeking to do.
And I do want to give a quick shout out, because we also have a 250 page on our website that we link to Visit Frederick. So we'll put that up. It's under Arts and Culture.
Excellent.
So check that out.
Yeah.
So you already see the synergy happening just in this podcast alone, but how can local businesses, schools, and artists get involved with these celebrations?
Yeah, so what we're really trying to do, Visit Frederick is kind of the landing spot for this. So we're happy to make connections, happy to put people in touch with the commission, with organizers of these events. I work very closely with the Historic Sites Consortium. So Frederick County has a Historic Sites Consortium. It's kind of under the umbrella of Visit Frederick. It's really amazing. We get together quarterly, all of the museums and historic sites across not only the city, but Frederick County as well. Over 24 sites. And we work very closely together to plan one major event every year, Museums by Candlelight, which takes place in on the second Saturday of December every year. All of those museums and historic sites are open for free, and have special events going on as well. So we're really gearing up for what that's going to look like in 2026. But you can come to Visit Frederick. You can contact us, and we're happy to put anybody that's interested in volunteering, interested in hosting events, telling these stories that we think are so important, especially leading into the actual 250th anniversary year next in 2026. We can put them in touch with the right people. We really value. We think that of the major things that we bring to the table, the value that we bring is as a connector. It's one of the things that I'm most passionate about in my work, is to be able to say, a member of the public is looking to plan something, or somebody wants to make a partnership, and they may have a business or a nonprofit and they want to partner with another business or nonprofit or a government agency. We act as that connector, and that's something that I think that it is so important for a tourism office to do, that you don't always see in other destinations. We really value those community partnerships, those shared community values that we feel are so important, and what makes Frederick and Frederick County really special.
I was just going to say, it makes Frederick so special. Okay, so you're a history buff, and you mentioned that you were like, it's a miracle we're here at all.
Yes.
So what is one of the pieces of history or story that visitors are most surprised about when they come to Frederick?
Yeah, that's I think that there's revolutionary history here at all. So there's no major military campaign that happens here in Frederick County.
I feel like we were a pass through for a lot of this.
Yeah, there are soldiers passing through.
Yeah.
There are soldiers that leave from Frederick
Right.
and from Frederick County and go to serve in the Continental Army. There's also loyalists and so-called Tories here as well. So it's and we oftentimes don't think of the revolution like this, but it is a civil war.
Right.
It's a civil war within the colonies. And so it's really a home front story here in Frederick, and that doesn't make it, that makes it, I think, potentially even more interesting because it's really a story that's not as front and center in the national narrative. But Frederick has some amazing stories connected to the Revolution. One of those sites is Rose Hill Manor here in the city, which I always love. Is like a county park within the city of Frederick. It's kind of a fascinating, also great, showing that how we all work together. But Thomas Johnson, the first governor of Maryland, his story is connected to the American Revolution in a number of different ways, but one of the sites in northern Frederick County, Catoctin Furnace, is incredibly tied to this story and making munitions for the Continental Army at the Battle of Yorktown. So that battle in 1781 that helps to secure American freedom, there is ammunition and weaponry being used by George Washington's army that is manufactured here in Frederick County.
We did it.
Yes. But then it's always like, we always have to add the complexity to that story. And then it's also about Catoctin Furnace, being a site, an industry that is manufacturing those weapons in a fight for freedom that is employing enslaved labor. And so that's what, I love as a public historian, kind of in the job and out of the job. What I love about Frederick is that we tell those stories honestly.
Absolutely.
We're always seeking to dig in further, research further, tell the full story of what really happened. And sometimes that's can be quite ugly to tell that fuller story, but we need to tell it nevertheless, because that complexity is what makes America, and we need to have that full story told. And you just scratch beneath the surface in any era in Frederick's history, and you're going to find those stories. And it's kind of a wealth of fascinating information, anecdotes. I love giving tours in the city of Frederick because we can peel back the onion on all these different layers of history. And the American Revolution is really full of those stories that are being told now by places like Rose Hill. Heritage Frederick here in the city is doing some amazing research on this as well. So there's more and more we're finding out every day. History is not a static thing. We're learning about this more and more. We will continue to do so.
The city is partnering with organizations in Frederick to do the sites of enslavement, which Visit Frederick is going to host the walking tour when that is eventually done. So that's great point.
A lot of things in the works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've given us a lot already, but is there something that you really enjoy about history in Frederick, what's something that's your favorite to discuss or talk about?
Yeah, I do feel compelled to talk about the Civil War era in Frederick. I think it's what's Frederick's most known for visitors who come to Frederick. We have a visitor center, the Frederick Visitor Center. Check it out, new exhibits.
He loves looking at that
I love it.
So we have the Frederick Visitor Center. It's located in kind of the southeast corner of the historic district in downtown, along East Street, right across the street from the Transit Center. New exhibits there that we just opened up in 2025. We're really excited about those. Great mural, speaking of public art, to check out.
Beautiful mural.
Yes,
Great
it
mural.
is stunning, created by local artist Matt Long, did an amazing job with
Yes.
it. But we are able to talk with about 20 to 25,000 visitors who come through the door every year at the Visitor Center. We ask them, why are you coming to Frederick? And the number one reason cited, since we've been keeping track of this, is history, is number one.
Really?
Yes. Yep. And when we peel that back a little bit further, it makes sense that most of them are interested in Civil War history because our region is so rich with this, not just in Frederick City, Frederick County, but in the wider region. You know, Gettysburg is just to our north, one of the most visited national historical parks in the United States. Antietam, Battlefield to the west, Harper's Ferry to the west. D.C., all the Smithsonian's and the museums just to our south, and Baltimore, of course, Fort McHenry, all of the history that's there. So it's kind of the centerpiece. You know, people are always coming through Frederick. We're kind of the crossroads of the region. And that's the same story that brought soldiers here in 1862, and 1863, 1864 on their way to Antietam, Gettysburg, and then our own Battle of Monocacy here. So that story is really interesting. One of the things that we're really focused on at Visit Frederick through the Civil War Trails program. So if you're out on the landscape in downtown Frederick or anywhere in Frederick County and you see those little wayside markers, maybe in a parking lot or mounted in a street downtown, and they have the blue kind of trim around them, those Civil War Trails markers we administer through Visit Frederick. And we have been kind of doing a comprehensive rewrite of some of those panels to tell the full story of Frederick in the Civil War. As those signs many of them were originally put up in the late 1990s, early 2000s, it was a different time period in how Americans dealt with Civil War history. It was very much focused out of the 90s with reenactor culture and also in movies like Glory and Gettysburg. And people
It's shot a scene here, right? Or
Which
at
one,
least
Glory,
or
or
Gods and Generals.
It was Gods and Generals,
Yeah.
yeah. And mostly filmed in Washington County. Terrible movie. Terrible.
Guys
movie.
in general. I was
Gettysburg's
going to say,
good.
I love Glory and I love Gettysburg. Is Denzel the one in that's Glory?
Is in Glory, yeah. Oh, I was just watching that the other night.
So
Great
good.
movie. Is it okay for me to give a movie hot take?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
I hate the movie Gettysburg.
Why?
Gettysburg too?
Yes.
Why? The length?
It's so
Inaccuracy?
long.
Inaccuracies?
I actually am not. I'm not a stickler for accuracy on things.
Okay.
Like
Because it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, tell me a good story,
Right.
you know, and you know, it doesn't need to. If I want historical accuracy, I'll watch a documentary, which I
Right.
love
Sure.
documentaries.
Same.
But it's really long and
Yeah.
just kind of dull. And I'm very controversial. Many of my friends are Civil War historians, and most of them, when they go, you ask them what got you interested in Civil War history, they're gonna say the movie Gettysburg, and I am always the outlier because I am not. That's not how I got into it.
What was it?
So I grew up in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid, they opened the National Civil War Museum in Harrisburg.
Oh.
And I went there probably about 6 months after they opened, and that's what
Hooked you in.
Yeah, it made me interested because I was, I'm not even sure how old I was at the time, probably like 8 or 9. And I was always interested in history, but it was more like World War II history. My great-grandfather was an airman in World War II. His brothers also served, and that's what got me interested. And but that museum opening was like, oh, there are other periods in American history that I can be interested too, and that it just kind of snowballed from there.
kids, your dreams can come true. You can work in the profession.
Yes, which I never thought was possible. Thank you, Frederick. Because I went to Hood College here, and originally went to be a journalist when I came here in 2011, and because I loved history, but had been told, what are you going to do with a history degree?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be a history teacher.
Right.
And while I come from a family of public school teachers and value what they do, I did not want to be a teacher. It was not something I wanted to do. So I went in thinking, I don't want to go down that path.
Sure.
But it's thanks to actually an archaeologist at Hood, Jennifer Ross, who's still a professor there, was my advisor my freshman year. She's like, yeah, there's this thing called public history. And I was like, what's
I haven't heard
history?
that term before.
Yeah, so
wow.
there's a program, I think it's a concentration in the history program at Hood. I think it's still the case. And it's focused on history as interpreted at national parks. You could be working in museums, but it's all of the other ways that the public interacts with history, like a historic district and a historic preservation element to public history.
Right.
There's an archives and libraries part of public history. And so it's really where public interacts with history that's not through a book or an academic standpoint. And it opened my eyes to, there's so many different ways that you can do history and be involved. And so, and then Frederick is a great place to find, your footing as a young historian interested in this, because we have so many great organizations and institutions. For me, it was the Heart of the Civil War Heritage Area. Shout out to Liz Chateau, amazing, the director, and I was her first intern.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so
It's a history darling of Frederick.
Yeah. It's her first intern, and that's what got me into the tourism, because her office originally was in the visitor center, so that's where I went in and saw the operations of a visitor center for the first time, where I learned tourism was an industry, because where I grew up in Pennsylvania, no offense to the place, was like people left, they did not want to go there necessarily, and so coming here was like, oh my gosh, this is a whole business, and history is tied into it here because of that's the number one reason people are coming here. Heritage travel is so big, a part of our tourism makeup, and yeah, it just kind of rolled from there. So yeah, long aside about that.
This is what Behind the Spires is all about.
Before we hop into the quick round trivia, what is it's not Gods and Generals, it's a book, it's like Angels, it's about Antietam. You would know this. It's something like Gods and Angels or something like that.
The Killer Angels.
Killer Angels.
Yeah, Killer Angels is the basis for the movie Gettysburg.
Okay, that
gotcha.
book got me into Civil War history.
Yep.
I used to read, my copy is like brown with like crinkled papers. I read it so much.
Yes, I had
Killer Angels.
I had a similar experience with that. That was probably one of the first books I read after visiting the Civil War Museum in Harrisburg, and yeah, a really amazing book. Again, Gettysburg, bad adaptation. Of the of a book I loved, and the book's always better, right?
Of course,
the book is always better.
Except for Lord of the Rings, don't at me. The Peter Jackson trilogy is so good.
Yeah, and it's so funny because so many people, working in Civil War history, so many people had that same experience with Killer Angels, and that's what they think the history is. Oh. So there's a reason. So this is fascinating to me. It's knowing some of the rangers that work at Gettysburg, and some of the licensed battlefield guides there. The one of the number one most visited places on the battlefield since the late 20th century is Little Round Top, and specifically the 20th Maine. That's Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. Right. He's kind of the protagonist of Killer Angels, as well as the movie Gettysburg. And so it actually refocused how the public sees the Battle of Gettysburg through the eyes of him, which again is one of my big complaints
of the movie.
And the book as well, is because it made it really about Chamberlain, who's a fascinating guy and actually has a really interesting Civil War medicine story, because he was shot in a sensitive area of his body about a year after the Battle of Gettysburg.
I didn't know that.
And lived the rest of his life with a catheter in the 19th century.
They say that in the book, don't they?
At the end.
Yeah. Yep. And he ultimately dies of his wounds in, I think, 1913. He's one of the last, one of the last casualties of the American Civil War. Now that is a real aside, but we're gonna go. We can The two of us can really go down the rabbit hole on this. So
We've done this before.
Bring it back to.
Jake, we're so happy that you joined us today.
Yeah.
Will you come back?
Absolutely.
Would you
anytime.
do a history corner? I think you and Christina Martinkowski.
Yes, please.
I think that would be fantastic. Okay, people need to check out Visit Frederick. They have all the events. They are the connectors of USA 250 is we're branding, and also check out our events page.
Yeah.
And are you ready for some
Quick
round
trivia.
Quick round trivia.
All right.
Okay, Jake.
So normally Ed has hot sauce, but I can't duplicate what Ed does.
No.
here.
Okay.
no.
I have to
So
come back
each.
for the hot sauce.
We have to
Yes.
come back.
for the
Yes.
hot
I'd like you to be a recurring guest. So I did know that you were a Civil War medicine guy. So these are right up your alley. They should be. First question. What was the most common surgical procedure performed during the Civil War?
That would be the amputation.
That is correct. It's like you know this.
All right.
Okay.
What famous Civil War nurse treated patients in Frederick and went to found the American Red Cross?
That would be Clara Barton.
And did she meet Lincoln? I was Googling.
It's unclear.
Okay. I was like, I'm not going to put that.
So it's unclear if she meets him. She's definitely in the same spaces on a couple of occasions, and she tries to meet with him, but in the White House, but is never let in to see him.
Really?
Yes.
Complicated history we have.
Yes. Nevertheless, she got what she wanted.
Okay,
So-
yes, okay. Nevertheless, okay. Frederick, Maryland was known as what type of city during the Civil War because of the number of injured soldiers treated here?
Be a hospital city.
Oh my gosh, she didn't even flinch at
Oh.
any of them. They were like, some
Champ.
people are like, no, there was no beat.
Yes.
Okay, so you're 3 for 3, you're our winner, and that means you get to return and be part of our
Yeah.
Okay, Jake, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
we really
absolutely.
appreciate it. And we hope you guys join us after this break.
For 250 years, Americans have marked the turning points that shaped a nation. Here in Frederick County, we embody that story. And in 2026, we are coming together as a community to remember and reflect on our past.
A place where historic ideals unite with the ideas of new generations, where people come together to achieve common goals, and where a more perfect union is built. 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and 1 year at a time. And in the next 250 years, Frederick County will continue to lead the way into a bright future. Happy birthday, America, and here's to many, many more of this republic of ours.
And we're back, you guys. That was an amazing interview with Jake.
You know, it's that enthusiasm that just gets everyone else excited about history, I think.
I was like, I'm in. Let's
Yeah.
take the tour. Let's take a Civil War tour. Let's take a Revolutionary War situation.
I was surprised him mentioning out the businesses. You know, you
Yes.
just as a resident go, oh, well, the businesses are here, but
Right.
they are what also help contribute to the tourism in this city. So
100% agree. When we were like, art, music, whatever, he was like, and local businesses. And that's what he says when he goes out, which means like that's how important they are to bring people into the city.
right.
And if people want to get in touch, where can they get in touch with us, I should say?
This is a part of the show. You and Ed the excitement just roars and resonates. So I
roars.
don't know if I can.
You can do it.
Okay, let me try. Behind the Spires at cityoffrederickmd.gov.
That's Behind the Spires at cityoffrederickmd.gov.
If I heard you right,
Yep.
it's Behind the Spires at cityoffrederickmd.gov.
You are correct, sir. That's the email if you want to get in touch with us, ask us any questions about the show, who you want to interview. Emails have bumped up, so we're excited.
got
We're getting
emails.
folks who either want to be on the podcast or have questions about what we've talked about. So we love it. And what
Remember
else?
to
Yes.
like and subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. The major players. We're there.
And all of them.
Yes.
Quite frankly.
I'm sure Ed is on the beach right now listening to one of his favorite episodes he's recorded this year.
He's definitely on the beach listening to himself on Behind
Yes,
the Spires.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's got it on loop. Just the playlist.
He's like, oh, I love this episode.
Yes.
This is a good one. And before we dip back behind the Spires, something Ed would want us to say, a teeny tiny little favor.
Just like,
Yes. Tell your friends about your time here. If you get a chance, give a simple 5-star review. You can even do that right in your podcast app. Your support will help us grow, and we'd really appreciate it.
I love Ed's closing. I need to memorize this because he does this so well. But he's like, kindness goes a long way.
Kindness costs you nothing, but it means everything.
You did just for Ed. Thank you, Ed. We miss you.
We miss you, Ed.
Rejuvenated, please.
Thank you guys for hanging with us. I'm Spires.